What are you doing?
It's Halloween!
It's Halloween, ladies and gentlemen. How you bloody doing? The Buttsmart here and Little Dicky here on the second channel. And I know we've started the video with a lot of gusto, but this is a sad video.
I just wanted to do some moody music. I thought it was a bit cool.
Quite apt.
We're in the same shirt.
Hey, get your
Hey.
Buttsman University t-shirts, ladies and gentlemen. Go and get them right now at isaac.butterfield.store. A great purchase to be made. Now, Little Dixon, you have decided to do something very creepy for Halloween. And also write a creepy video. So, tell us, what is the case that we're looking into today? Because you have told me little bits and pieces, but it appears that this is a story that not a lot of Australians know, and it's pretty fucked up.
It's definitely fucked up. It's pretty, it's very dark, especially because of where this crime happened and where this spookiness happened. Alleged crime.
We don't know if it is a crime at this point. No one knows. They have their suspicions, and I don't think we'll ever know.
No, I feel weird being up this high.
Well, you have to be up that high, otherwise people can't see you because of the microphone.
But I feel like I can't do things.
What do you want to do?
Nothing. I feel weird. I want a cushion.
Little Dixon is 100 years old.
I just feel...
Let's get on with the video.
Luna Park in Sydney, Australia is a bright, happy, fairy floss-filled amusement park, which most of us Aussie kids have been to at least once. It has a rich history and is an icon in itself. However, Luna Park has a dark, tragic past. Many wonder to this day, was this tragic event that we will discuss an accident, a crime, or something else? Something paranormal.
So the link to the paranormal is a bit weird. And
Definitely.
we looked online and there's not a lot of stuff about it. I think a lot of people have just gone, that's bullshit. But it is interesting. The link to the crime that was potentially committed is interesting, and the story behind that. And the horrible atrocity that happened was pretty horrifying for the people involved, I'm sure.
Very sad.
And it's something that have happened. If it happened now, people would just be up in arms. But this is what,
Absolutely.
1970s?
In the 70s, yeah.
It's pretty full on, but on with the story. We will begin at the very beginning. Luna Park was established in 1935. Its Art Deco colour-filled style is iconic and beautiful. Luna Park's slogan is just for fun. Sadly, for some, the memories of this amusement park is anything but. Instead, it's a chilling reminder of 7 lives lost during a ride on the iconic Sydney Ghost Train. Lives taken by a roaring fire.
The investigation into what caused the fire has many theories. However, the coroner ruled that the actions of Luna Park staff before and during the fire were subpar. For instance, not following advice on installing a sprinkler system in the ride, thus breaching their duty of care. However, no charges were laid. The case was reopened in 1987. There were no new findings. It's also worth noting the whole police investigation and coronial inquiry was criticised strongly. The fire forced the closure of Luna Park until 1982. It was then reopened and under new ownership. The question remains, was it an accident, arson, or something not of this world?
So people are riding along the ghost train in 1979. Happy, fun afternoon, I believe.
Afternoon.
They're riding along, having a great time, and then I guess they get trapped in a certain section.
Hideous.
And then you would imagine that, or I wonder if the fire was already started and the ride took them further in.
I'm pretty sure from all accounts it was basically that the ride started as per usual, I think, and then people, like onlookers, saw smoke like billowing out the top. And
So do you think?
I think it happened like just.
Do you think people on the ride? I think 7 people died.
Yeah.
And a lot of kids too. Do you think people were sitting there going, "Oh, I wonder if this is part of the ride"?
Definitely. I hadn't thought of that. Definitely.
So, people tried to get out, and they basically got stuck in there. And you look back at
So fucked up.
the coroner's inquest, and was it a colonial inquest as well? They look back and they said, there should have been a fire system installed.
Yeah, why was there no sprinkler?
Well, they said, well, it would have just cost too much. They would have been
Yeah.
like, nah, fuck, we don't need that.
We don't need
There's
that.
never
She'll
gonna
be right.
There's never going to be a fire in there.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why in Australia, like, you cannot build anything unless there's even if, like, some of the haunted houses that we go to, there are fire exits and there are sprinklers and there is, like, anywhere that you are utilising as a business to make money, you have to have a fire plan or at the very least some fire extinguishers. But, even with the sprinklers, maybe this would have went up anyway.
I think it would have.
Well, that goes on to the whole conversation about was it deliberately lit?
What do you think?
And who lit it? I mean, who
What's
knows?
your gut tell you?
Well, this is the 70s, so you could imagine that a lot of the wiring would have been subpar.
Faulty electrics.
Faulty electrics. Does something catch a light? Maybe there's a bit of... who knows? Like, there could have been a water leak. There could have been some old piece of machinery that was faulty in there. Maybe someone left some cleaning chemicals or spilled something, or maybe one of the lubricants had caught fire. I know we have that issue.
Fuck, Jesus.
The fact of the matter remains that whatever happened, it caught on fire and all of these people died. Now, was it deliberately lit? This goes back to a whole conversation that I'm sure you're going to get into about the reasons that it would be deliberately lit and the reasons for shutting the park down and who would benefit from that. I think once we learn about that, we may be able to give more of a informed opinion on whether or not it was deliberately lit.
Here's a direct quote from my friend Ellie. Ellie is a professional psychic medium who specialises in spiritual cleansing. I went to Luna Park when I was in Sydney a few years ago, and all I can say as a psychic is that it was intense. I felt so much sadness and it was very eerie walking around there. I had heard about the incident that had occurred there, but not in depth as it was before my time and it was never of interest to know. I actually had to leave Luna Park because it was so intense. I felt sick and I wanted to cry. It's safe to say I felt all the feels. I would love to go back there, in a way, and do an EVP session and see what I pick up. End quote.
After the fire, Luna Park was obviously shut down. However, to this day, there isn't a definitive answer as to how the fire started or what happened to the lives that were taken. It could have been negligence, faulty, unchecked equipment that started the blaze on the ghost train. Or it could have been dark entities that had enough. Or could it have been gang-related? Perhaps this is closer to the truth. Sydney's underworld may have been involved. In 2007, Anne Buckingham, a niece of Sydney's underworld figure Abe Saffron, claimed in an interview with the Sydney Morning Herald that her uncle was responsible for the fire. Buckingham claimed that she believed the attack was part of a plan for Saffron to gain control of Luna Park's lease. Former park artist Martin Sharp claimed that Saffron had approached him several years prior offering to buy the park. In 1975, it was claimed by New South Wales MP Michael John Hatton that Saffron had beneficial ownership of the park, resulting in an inquiry which concluded that although people related to Saffron were involved in supplying pinball and arcade games to Luna Park, Saffron himself was not linked to the ownership of the park.
So what now? Well, there is now a unique reward offered by police of $1 million to get answers of what went on that day in that park that lost 7 innocent lives. There are other accounts of what happened that day. What if the official story is wrong? What if this fire was the result of a demonic entity wreaking havoc upon the people of Sydney? In 1979, the Godson family spent a fun family day visiting Taronga Zoo with their 2 sons before visiting the famous Luna Park.
After spending many of their tickets on rides and games at the theme park, they had 4 tickets left, and they decided to use them on the ghost train. Jenny, the mother, went for a short detour to get some ice cream, while her husband John and their sons went on the ride.
Upon her arrival at the ghost train ride, Jenny saw the train coming out of the ride billowing with smoke as employees desperately tried to get people out. Sadly, Jenny's husband and 2 sons perished, along with 4 others. Sometime after the incident, Jenny went through photos she had taken on the day. The last picture that was taken featured her son Damien shyly standing next to an intimidating man wearing a demonic-looking mask.
Some people have made connections between this dude in the mask and a particular demon. The demon's name is Moloch, who was...
Moloch.
Yeah, who was a demon that thrived on child sacrifice and was also like a fire demon.
Fire demon. I remember that.
And so she gets this photo, which is a really creepy photo. And so is this a photo of the dude who burnt the train down? Is this a photo of an actual demon? Probably not.
Who's dressed like that at a theme park?
So there was a parade before they went to the theme park, and this is where this photo was taken.
What type of parade?
I don't know, weird fucking parade. And that apparently that's where the dude came from, but there was a lot of other like godlike forms that were dressed up as at this thing.
It's not as weird then.
Well,
It's still weird,
It's
but
still
it's not
weird.
like a random bloke with horns.
it's weird that a child sacrificing fire demon was the last photo that a child who died
in a fire.
in a fire at an amusement park was taken with. Probably just a coincidence,
An eerie coincidence.
but creepy. And this isn't a new thought either. Like, people were connecting the dots here. Here we have a photo of that photo being on a newspaper. Mum haunted by mystery photo. Death Blaze occult link. Maybe it was a sacrifice.
Maybe.
Not sure. There really isn't that much other information other than this creepy photo, the link to the occult, this dude dressing up as this particular demon that sacrifices children in fire, and these children dying in a fire. That is the link. And that is what's creepy about it. Was it a connection to the underworld? Was it just a horrible coincidence? Was it
Accident.
Was it an accident?
Yep.
What do you think happened?
I don't know. Since chatting to my friend Ellie about it, when I first heard about it and looked into it and even spoke to my mum about it, I was like, okay, it's a fair while ago. They've got young staff. It's an old park. Something's just fucked up, and the fire's just tragically started. But then since diving into it a little bit more and having a chat to Ellie about it, and even just stuff that we've looked into about it and that photo, I am very open to thinking it could be something paranormal, but then also, I don't know, I also think it could be gang related. So I'm sort of like pulled into 3 bits. I don't know whether it's the most logical, whether it's more underworldy, creepy, gangster shit, or whether it's paranormal. My gut sort of says that it's faulty electrics, but then a little bit of me is like, it's a little bit paranormal.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it is weird that he took the photo with this person, but does that mean that it's paranormal? It's an actual demon, or is it just a dude that like has given himself to demons or something weird like that? Also,
A crazy guy. Yeah.
Does it also mean that? I mean, the Abe Safran thing makes sense. Like, this
It
dude
does,
wants a
definitely.
really expensive piece of real estate. That
Yep.
makes complete sense.
Definitely. And the quote from his niece, she later also deducted. Is that when you...
Detracted?
She later on deducted or took away the quote she said, and she was like, nah, never said it, but she did say it. And the courts wouldn't listen to her because there was proof on a recording of her saying
Right.
it. So later on, she then said, I never said that. And I was just like,
So there's mixed reports. Did she say it? Did she not? I'd love to know what people think about this whole story in the comment section. Was it just a tragic accident? Was it mob related? Was it something to do with the occult? Let us know in the comment section below. Thank you very much for this story, Little Dicky. Well done. Bravo.
Thank
Bringing the
you.
best content to the internet, as per usual.
thank you.
Be a good motherfucker. Peace in the Middle East. Me dick stinks. Bye-bye.
Bye.